The Kansas City Chiefs are no doubt glad to have acquired Mecole Hardman, who caught the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 58 after joining the team in a midseason trade. But this offseason, he might be a headache for Kansas City. Hardman joined the Pivot podcast for a wide-ranging interview, and the receiver spoke extensively about his time with the New York Jets. They signed him to a one-year, $4 million deal last offseason after his underwhelming first 4 years with the Chiefs. But not long after New York added Hardman, the two sides were unhappy. Aaron Rodgers' season-ending injury on opening night made for widespread dysfunction within the Jets organization, including for the team's pass catchers. But Hardman seemed like a particularly bad match for New York, and drafted rookie Xavier Gipson passed him on the depth chart, and Hardman was largely a non-factor on offense. When the relationship fell apart beyond repair, the Jets traded him back to the Chiefs. But before that, it sounds like, behind the scenes, Hardman might have touched base with Kansas City. I was so checked out, like, it was over with. I had already talked to KC GM Brett Veach and Pat Mahomes, like, come get me. Hardman said during his appearance on The Pivot. That sounds a lot like tampering. Per the NFL's policy, the term tampering, as used within the National Football League, refers to any interference by a member club with the employer-employee relationship of another club, or any attempt by a club to impermissibly induce a person to seek employment with that club or with the NFL. In other words, so long as Hardman was a Jet, he wasn't allowed to speak with Veach or Mahomes about playing for the Chiefs. Prior to making those comments in the conversation with Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder, Hardman told the story of when his frustration reached a peak with the Jets. During a special teams meeting, a coach called him out for repeated drops during practice. He exposed me in front of the whole special teams. Like, look at this bulls. Right here, Hardman said, showing my drops on the punt return. Then comes the game and you want me to return punts for you? Nah. They're telling me I'm going to remember it. What you going to do, bro? I'm not starting. I'm fitting to leave. So what's the worst you can do to me? As reporters found Hardman's quote about contacting both Veach and Mahomes and it gained traction, the receiver took to social media to change his story. Never had talks with KC before the trade, so we can clear that up. The Jets handled my trade on their own and did the right thing by sending me back to KC. He posted on X.